What's up, everyone? Back for another Whodunit Beer review, and today's beer comes courtesy of a very good friend of mine and a viewer of the channel, Dan. So thank you very much, Dan. I truly do appreciate it. In the description box, I'll post a link to the beer mail unboxing video I did that contains all the goodies that Dan sent my way. He sent me a bunch of beer, and he included one Whodunit Beer. So if you are checking out a Whodunit Beer review for the first time, you might be asking yourself, what are Whodunit Beers? What are Whodunit Beer reviews? Well, simply put, they are a blind/mystery beer reviews that were popularized by another good friend of mine and a fellow beer tuber, Matt, over at Massive Beer Reviews. And it works like this. Somebody will wrap up and conceal a beer, like Dan did with this one, and then they will either send or give me said beer, and then I'll review the beer like I do any other beer on my channel, with the lone exception being I don't know what it is. So at the end of the review, I try to guess the beer style, the ABV, and if I'm feeling confident enough, I will try to guess the beer itself, although that is rare. And then I will rate the beer and reveal it to both you and me and see how I did. Although lately, I have not been rating the beer before I reveal it because I'm super old and I get so into these reviews that I'm like, trying to guess what they are, trying to figure it out, almost disappointed that I don't know what it is, and then I reveal it, and then I'm like, I forgot to rate it. So I'll try to remember to rate it before I actually reveal it. But if it doesn't happen, then it's on me, but you kind of expect it. So what do I know about this one? Well, I know that it was sent to me by Dan, and Dan lives about 2 hours away from me in New York. I kind of know the distro in his area because it's similar to mine, slightly different. But outside of that, 16-ounce can, it's wrapped up. It's funny because I don't know if it's going to come off on camera, but you can kind of see what I thought was the label of the beer. And I'm like, Dan, I don't think you did a great job wrapping that because, you put a napkin or a paper towel on this one. And I'm like, I can kind of see what it is. So like, I don't know if I'm going to do this as a whodunit. And then I realized that this is the whatever duck wrap, which is bubble wrap. It is the actual label from the bubble wrap that I'd imagine Dan used to pack my beer mail. And I was like, okay, we're good. So I can see duck wrap underneath it. So he did a good job. I'm just an idiot. So anyway, this has been out of the fridge for about an hour. I always struggle with the temperature to drink these ones at, because if it's like a big stout or like a big beer, I don't want them to be right out of the fridge. Although if it's an adjunct lager or a sour or something, I'd probably want them, 10, 15 minutes out of the fridge. So I just take them out of the fridge, let them sit for about 45 minutes to an hour. Here we are. Hopefully this isn't like, an adjunct lager. And if it is, then I'll have to deal with it. But did a little bit of roll before I turned the camera on. Also, probably should mention that the bottom has a little, I didn't mess with this at all because I didn't want to, because it's like the Leaning Tower of Pisa, although another good friend of mine and fellow beer tuber Chris over at Off the Tent said the Leaning Tower of Beer, and it kind of is. So I'm not going to fix that. We'll fix it at the end. So let me crack this one open, see what we got going on. Ooh, so definitely an overfill right from the get-go. Let's hopefully this pours well. Yeah, this is a big time overfill. Okay, so it looks like some sort of hazy here. Yeah, it smells like a hazy. That smells really good, and the pour is fantastic. That pour, I'm gonna pour a decent amount of it, because if this spills because it's leaning, then nah, we should be fine. We should be fine. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, that is a hazy. That is definitely a hazy, super like bright, vibrant, sunshine-looking color. It has like a nice orange color to it. On camera, it's probably gonna be more dull. In person, though, it's like very vibrant and just like sunshine-esque. It looks like a hazy personified. About 1.5 fingers to 2 fingers of this off-white, creamy-colored head. A little bit of soap sudsy, but that looks like a hazy. It looks like a real nice hazy. Whether or not it is, I don't know. Let's get nose. Yeah, so definitely a hazy to me. And it smells super fresh too. Wow, like almost hot burn-esque, like astringency. I want to actually, I was almost going for the sip because it smelled that appeasing. I'm just like, I want to get into it. Yeah, so tons of like stone and tropical fruits. There's citrus here, more zesty citrus, orange, tangerine, that kind of citrus. But then I'm getting like peach and apricot, crushed pineapple, maybe a little bit of like a blueberry mosaic kind of vibe, but definitely gives me like Galaxy and Mosaic vibes. I don't know. Now I'm thinking like Nelson, because there's like a white grape thing going on too. It smells fucking hot. It's just like, it's vibrant. It's, dare I say, bombastic. Shout out to Paul over at PA Brew News. It's punching me in the face with a bunch of stone and tropical fruits, zesty citrus fruits, a little bit of an herbaceousness here as well. Slight sweet malt base too, like a biscuity kind of like, or like a crackery biscuity, just like, a sweeter kind of bready type of aroma to the malt. It smells, this to me, based off the aroma, this smells like an Imperial IPA, like I'm going to say 8.5-ish, somewhere right there just on the nose. A little bit of alcohol legs. I don't think this is a triple, but could be. I don't know. It smells fucking awesome. Let's get into it. Cheers, everybody, and thanks again, Dan. Right from the get-go, definitely a bigger beer. This is at least a double. Say at least 8.5. This could be a triple in the 10 range. I'm going to guess there's lactose in here just because I'm getting a really nice sweetness, slight vanilla tinges. This is giving me, based on the body and the mouthfeel as well, kind of like oat cream vibes from Other Half. I have no idea if it is, but just kind of like that. Body is higher side of medium body. So I'm going to say this is definitely, at the very least, a double IPA, if not a triple IPA. The mouthfeel, soft, smooth, creamy. There's a little bit more carbonation than I'm accustomed to in, say, like one of their Daydream or Dream series from Other Half. And the reason why I'm referencing Other Half is I know Dan drinks a lot of Other Half. Other Half's not that far from his house, the Rochester, sorry, East Bloomfield location, Dan. And yeah, this is giving me that kind of vibe. It could totally not be, but just to me, it's kind of giving me that vibe. But this has a little bit more carbonation than one of those beers, like the Daydream or Dream series where they're using a shit ton of oats and a little bit of lactose. The taste, though, I'm getting more like white grape, pineapple, passion fruit type of thing. I feel like there's like some kind of Southern Hemisphere hop in here. Maybe like, could be Nelson, could be Galaxy with that pineapple, could be like Motu Weka, kind of in the, maybe, let's say maybe Vic's Secret, but Vic's Secret doesn't usually hit like this. I don't really know. I'm just talking on my ass. Yeah, right up front, a lot of sweetness. That bready, biscuity malt, and a little bit of lactose kind of hits in the forefront and stays for the first half of the palate. Like I said, white grape, passion fruit. There's a little bit of that stone fruit quality, more of like a peach, maybe a slight mango. I haven't been saying mango a lot, more peach, apricot, anything, but a little bit of mango. No alcohol in the astringency, or no astringency from the alcohol in the palate. Definitely warming into the chest and stomach. I'm going to say at least 8.5. I don't think this is a triple, but it could be. The thing about triple IPs, especially from Other Half, they hide the alcohol well. So this has the flavors that a triple would have for me from Other Half, but also some of their doubles. But I don't necessarily, it hides the alcohol so well, I don't necessarily taste like a 10% or 10.5% ABV. This is really good. So like I said, all up front, that's fruity, sweet. Mid-palate, slight herbaceousness comes in. Its finish is slightly dry, but this is more of a residual sweetness than you'd probably expect from a beer like this, just based on the taste. But then again, maybe not, because it is sweet up front. So that's why I'm thinking they're using lactose. More of a residual sweetness, a little bit of that vanilla tinge. Yeah, you can't taste whatever the ABV is here. Again, I think it's at least 8.5. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a triple. So I guess I have to lock something in, right? I'm going to go with the beer from Other Half. Could be from, who knows, could be from Single Cut. Could be one of his local breweries. Who knows? But I'm going to say this is an Other Half Imperial IPA, 8.5%. And it's probably a part of the Daydream or Dream series. Not positive. That would be my guess. So Imperial Hazy, we'll say New England Style Imperial IPA, 8.5%. I think it has lactose in it, part of the Dream or Daydream series. But I will say this, and this is a cop-out, I get it, but I would not be surprised if this is a triple IP from somebody as well, because it has the alcohol legs I'm seeing on here. It has the warming into the chest and the stomach. And I just feel like beers nowadays, especially the hazies, when they're triple IPAs, all these brewers are doing a great job of having a 10.5% beer drink like an 8% beer. Would not be surprised, but I'm still going 8.5 Imperial. Now watch this be a 6%, regular New England style IPA. So let me pour the rest in here so I can struggle to try to get the wrapping off of this. Okay, where do we begin here? Begin at the bottom here where it's the leaning tower of beer. Try to get the paper towel off, which I am succeeding in, I think, to some degree. Okay, so we got that part off, and now we have, see, it's duck bubble wrap. So yeah, let's see what this is. No, I don't even think this is a. Let's see what this is. I think, is this Sloop? Yeah, this is Sloop. So let's see if ooh. Okay, I'm super happy with how I did. So that just speaks to the quality of Sloop. This is definitely on the level of another half of beer. So let's crankle this up, throw it over here. We have there's Cyberpunk double IPA. So this is a double IPA that is brewed with milk sugar, picked up on the lactose, and Hallertauer Blanc and Mosaic hops. Now, I mentioned a Mosaic in the nose, not really in the taste. Hallertauer Blanc makes perfect sense in this situation. That hop gives me more of that, like the white fruit, like the white grape, passion fruit, stuff like that. So I'm happy. 8.3%, I said 8.5. So there's the stats. I don't know how well that's going to come off on camera. That's the stats. How fresh is this? Can't really read it. I have no idea. I have no idea how fresh this is. So let me know, Dan, how fresh this is. This drink's super fresh, but I said Imperial IPA, 8.5%, brewed with lactose. Thought it was part of like the other half Daydream series. And I was talking about Southern Hemisphere hops. And I don't know if Hallertauer Blanc is technically Southern Hemisphere. I don't think it is, but it still produces kind of those flavors. So I'm pretty happy. I said 8.5%. It's 8.3. I said, you know, double IPA or Imperial IPA, and brewed with lactose, and it sure is. So I'm super happy. I think I pretty much nailed it outside of like specific hops, but that's hard to do, I think. I feel it is anyway. I've done it a couple times, but it's really hard to do. And again, I didn't rate it, did I? Honestly, and you guys know I'm honest, this is fucking delicious. I would give this beer a low 4.5 out of 5. I'd go 4.4 out of 5. This is fucking phenomenal. That's why I like doing them, these Whodunit beer reviews, because yeah, I mean, not that I don't like Sloop. I think Sloop makes some good stuff. I've had some hits from them. I've had some misses, but more often than not, I do enjoy their stuff. But I've only had 1 or 2 beers from them that hit on the level that this one does. This is definitely, like I said, in the Daydream or Dream series from other halves, some of the better ones I've had. So 4.4 out of 5. I would have definitely gave it that even before revealing it, because it's hitting. It's good. I like it. I'm going to drink it and enjoy every second of it. So let me know how you think I did. I think I pretty much nailed it, you know, almost to a T. But yeah, outside of the hops being off a little bit, I'm super okay with how I did. So thank you to Dan for hooking me up with this one. Totally appreciate it. If you want to chime in with the price and availability on this one, Dan, I've never seen this one in my neck of the woods, although it probably has shown up because we do get Sloop here in Buffalo. And I'd imagine $4 to $5 for that can, because that's kind of the going rate for beers like that. But if you want to chime in, which you actually paid for it, if you remember, that'd be awesome. But yeah, these are so much fun. If anybody else wants to send me some Whodunits and do a trade or whatever the case may be, but I would love to get my hands on more Whodunit, because these are the beer reviews that I have the most fun with. They're, you know, the most honest way to review a beer. I have no idea what it is outside of knowing that Dan's in New York. That's all I knew about it. So yeah, I'm done. Super. When I do a review like this, and this is gonna be a little longer Whodunit, whatever, but like when I do a review like this and you almost nail it, you just feel really good, because you're like, okay, look, I always talk shit about my palate. Oh, it's terrible, and it is to a certain degree. But when I nail a beer like this, I'm just like, okay, it's not stupid, just a little dumb. Just a little dumb. Anyway, thanks again to Dan for this beer. Thanks to everybody stopping by. Another Whodunit beer review. Until the next one. Cheers.